Welcome to Code.py. So, in this series, I am trying to cover the fundamentals of NLP with TensorFlow, and this is the part 3 of the series of videos that we have covered. Now, in this video, I am going to cover how to perform padding on the sequences. So, in the last video where we created the sequences, we saw that we can actually convert the sentences into kind of encoded sequences where each word is represented by a code or a number. But the problem with that is the sequences that get generated, they are not of same length, and when we talk about using that as an input for our model, it will be much better if all the sequences are of the same length. So to achieve that, we use something called padding. Padding helps them transform the sequences so that each of the sequence is of equal length. So there are APIs basically already built in into TensorFlow. More specifically, under pre-processing sequences, there is a pad sequence function that we can directly use, and it can help us achieve to perform padding. So let's get started and let's see how we can write code for the same. So for that, I'll again start with importing the tokenizer. So from TensorFlow dot keras dot preprocessing dot text import tokenizer, and then we need to import the pad sequence function, so pad underscore sequence function. So for that we will use preprocessing sequence, and from sequence we will import the pad sequences function. Okay, now let's create our training set. Same thing, training sentences. Let's define some new kind of sentences here. So let's say it will rain, weather is, let's say, weather is cloudy, cloudy. Let's say, will it be raining? And in fact, let's put some punctuations as well. I mean, just to showcase that they are ignored. It's a super hot day. In fact, it is okay. So let's say we have all these sentences in our training set. Then we will train or we'll basically create a tokenizer object and train it on these sentences. So for that, create a tokenizer object, and we will be using the OOV token, so that is the out of vocabulary token, and we will default it to the OOV attribute. So tokenizer is equal to tokenizer. Let's pass the num words to be 50 and OOV token. Let's use the same token that we used last time. So OOV. Okay, back inside the angle brackets. Then let's use the fit on text function to train or fit the training sentence that we have on this tokenizer. So train the tokenizer on training sentences. We will be using fit on text function, and we will pass the trained sentences to it, and then of course we will use the word index attribute to fetch the dictionary containing the different words and the corresponding embedded encoded values. So store word index for words in the sentences. So for that, word index is equal to tokenizer dot word index. It's pretty much the same steps, and then we'll also create the sequences. So create let's define sequences as tokenizer dot text to sequences, and then train sentences. So now we have our sequences. Now if we actually see the sequences as of now, let's see our word index and our sequences. So let's print the values. Okay, so print f so let's print the word indexes, and let's print the sentences, and also let's print the sequences. So this time these are our word indexes, including the out of vocabulary attribute also encoded to 1, and then this is our sentence, and these are how they have been converted into sequence. Now as you can see here, all our sequences are of different lengths. So this is a list containing it's a list of lists, but each of our list at each index is of different length. So what we need is we want each of these lists to be of exactly the same length. So to achieve that, we will use the padded sequence function. So how to do that? For that, let's create a padded sequence variable and call the pad sequences function, and we will pass our sequences that we have already generated. So after this, if we print the values again, including the padded sequence, we will be able to see the difference. And in fact, let me just remove these two and just print the sequences. So okay, something is, oh yeah, my bad. So I have to print padded sequences here. So yeah, so if we see here, earlier the sequence was 235, now it has been padded with 3 zeros at the front. So because the maximum length of the sequence is 6, the last sequence is of length 6, so it has converted each of the sequences into 6 length sequences or sequences of length 6, and wherever the sequence was smaller, it has padded that sequence with values at the front of the sequence or prefixed. Okay, so this 235 has been converted into 000235. This 6748 has been converted into 006748, padding of 2. This one had 5 characters or 5 counts, so it has been padded by just one value to meet the length of 6, and so on. So this is how padding works. Now of course, what we did is we actually used the pad sequence without any parameters or the default version of the pad sequence, but this pad sequence also has parameters that we can customize and that can help us decide factors like whether we want to pad it at the front or we want to perform padding as a prefix, and also whether we want to control the maximum length after padding. So for example, in this case, even though the maximum sequence that we have is of length 6, we can still try to control, maybe for some use case we want to control it and we want to say that the maximum length of the sequence should only be 5. We can also do that, and if we do that and if we want to control, we can also set up how the function should behave in case it is getting truncated. Should the truncation happen at the front or it should happen at the back? So all these parameters are available for us to use. So let's try to use some of the parameters with pad sequence and see how it behaves. So pad sequences with padding type, max length, and how this will behave. Let's say padded sequences, and I'll call it padded sequences mod. I'll call the pad sequences again. This time, of course, we'll pass our sequences, and also we'll pass some more attributes like padding. And as you can see, the default for padding is pre. We will use post. So instead of pre-padding, or instead of adding the padded values to the front as prefix, it will now add the values as suffix. Let's set the max length attribute also to, let's say, 5. So we will restrict all our sequences to be just of value 5. So our sixth sequence should get truncated. Now how should it get truncated? So for that we have another attribute, truncating, which is again, if we talk about the default value for it, it is also pre. We will set it to post. So instead of truncating the first value of the sequence, it will now truncate the last value of the sequence. So yeah, so I think it is all set up. Let's execute this and let's see how our padded sequence looks now. So I will use this function and I will compare it with the mod of the padded sequences. So padded sequence mod and padded sequence, let's try to print. Now if we see here, earlier it was performing the padding at the prefix or at the starting of the sequence. Now it is doing it at the end, and we are limiting the length of the elements of each sequence to be 5. So I mean, accordingly is the behavior. And if you see the last sequence, which was of length 6, now it has been truncated to just length 5, and the value has been truncated from the end of the sequence. So that is because we are passing this truncating to post. So that is how we can perform this padding. Now after all these 3 steps, now we are in a position to actually convert our textual data into a padded sequence of encoded values, that too of the same length. And now we are in a position where after performing all this massaging and calculation on our textual data, we are ready with the data set that we can use with models to actually start training the model. So yeah, let's see in the next video. We are going to perform these same steps, and after reaching a padded sequence, or after processing our input data to reach to this padded sequence stage, we can use that data to train the model and execute. So that's it for this particular video, and I will come back with another video, and I'll see you soon again in that video. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching. Thank you.